Gotta learn how to punch fear in the face. What's going on, guys? Armando Gong here, back with another video, here to just share my thoughts and experiences in my own self-development journey. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I greatly appreciate it, and also click the notification bell to get more updates on when I publish a new video. Now, I wanted to talk about this topic because it's one of those things that we all go through, and I think it's very relevant to know why you're doing what you're doing, similar to the talk I had previously. A lot of the times we do things based on trying to avoid fear or allow fear to dictate what we're doing. Mainly that if something scares us, we'll try and find many ways to try and avoid that in the future. I think that's pretty common human nature. We don't want to do the things that make us uncomfortable. And fear is also one of those things. Like if you're scared of doing something, most likely you're not going to try it. But I like to think of it as a different way, where fear is an indication that it's a situation that you should be wary of, but it's not something that should prevent you from doing things. And I think one of those examples that is super sharp in my head, it revolves around me about, I want to say when I first started making these videos, which was roughly a year and a half ago. And at that moment, before I hit the button to record my first Facebook Live, I spent like about an hour just kind of pacing around, wondering what I wanted to say, being scared of pressing the button to start the recording, because once I press it, it would be really hard to just be like, oh no, I made a mistake. But that hour, basically, I was pretty much gripped in my own version of fear, where it's like, oh no, what am I supposed to do? How are people going to look at me? What's going to happen after this? Just that fear of the unknown, because it's something that I'm not used to, a situation I was not comfortable at all with. And it took me a while to get over it. And once I did it, though, it was kind of like relieving in the sense that I kind of got through it. And a year and a half later, I'm like making more videos every single day. And that fear, while it has not completely gone away, it's definitely still there, but I recognize that it's just this uncomfortable feeling that I'm always going to have, that whenever I make these videos, that's what's just going to happen. And I think that's okay to recognize that, because at the end of the day, these are just feelings to have. And they shouldn't be things that will dictate what you're doing. At the end of the day, these are just feelings that you're having, and you're justified in having these feelings. Like, I know we can't control what we feel, but we can control how we react to them. And for me, I recognize that, I had all these butterfly feelings in myself, and it was telling me that, oh no, you don't want to do this because who knows how people are going to respond to you. And at the same time, I recognized that this was something I just had to just get through, because we all go through these situations where we're fearful of the unknown, we're fearful of the uncomfortable, where we're just fearful of something that might or might not happen. And for me, I got through that, like I said, and people get through these things like through practice, through repeated exposure to the same situation. And I'm not saying that fear is you should not listen to your fear. Like, there are a lot of dangerous situations where fear keeps you doing the right thing. Like, I would not tell people to be like, if there's a car coming towards you, to not be fearful of it, because, you might die. In that situation, you just have to respond to that, what your fear is giving you. And in that situation, yeah, you should recognize that fear. But at the same time, you should also see that there are certain situations where you're experiencing fear is really just your way of your body and your mind stopping you from entering into an uncomfortable situation and an unknown situation. And in those times, you really have to hunker down, recognize what you're trying to do in that moment. Is that something you want to pursue? Is that something you want to take control of? Is that something you want to punch in the face and conquer? And I think that's once you do that, it's a much more powerful, liberating feeling, rather than a debilitating, I can't do this anymore type of feeling. And I think the latter is extremely powerful. Like being able to control your feelings, recognize that you're still having these feelings, and still get through doing whatever you want to do. That's extremely powerful, productive, and it will get you to places that you want to go. Like on the flip side, if you don't, you're pretty much letting fear control you. You're not going to be taking chances, and you're pretty much, rather than living your life, just surviving and not really creating new experiences for yourself. And for me, I don't think that's something that I personally want to pursue. I can see why people would, because you're comfortable, you're in your safe bubble, you're in a safe zone. But if you're really just living a safe life throughout your entire life with no risk whatsoever, you're not going out on the dates because you don't know what's going to happen. You're scared of what might happen on your dates. You're not asking for your promotion because you're scared of what your boss might say. You're not going into the gym because you're scared of what the other gym people are going to say when they look at you. All these fears are justified, but they're feelings that you're having for in your own body and not out in the real world. And it's okay to experience them and recognize them. But then now what are you going to do about it? Are you going to let it like control your life, or are you going to make something out of it, be either a motivator or forcing you to do something you're not used to doing? I know I try to conquer fear as much as I can and just see that it's there and like, oh, I don't want to do it. I can't do it. Something's going to happen. But just do it anyway and live with the consequences and not have that regret, always wondering whether you should have or shouldn't have done something. Do it, even if you're scared, and just live with it and you'll most likely be happy with it. Be happy with that decision. That's something that I think we all need to do more of. I know, especially as I've gotten older, my earlier years, I was so scared of everything. Like it took me so long to bloom, as Sylvia says. But eventually I did. I'm much more comfortable being able to talk to people now, whereas before I was like a little butterfly, just not willing to share anything. I'm also more willing to experience new things. I did not like to used to travel. Now I love traveling with my wife, and it's great. It's fun just to encounter new cultures and new places to visit. So for me, it's been extremely productive in my life, enriching me so many ways that where I would have just lived in my own little bubble previously, not knowing anything. So for me, punching fear in the face, super productive, awesome for my life, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that goes through this in life. So my big takeaway: encounter your fear, confront your fear, but do things in spite of it, and help yourself grow to be a better person, a better version of yourself. That's what I got for today. My name is Armando Gong. If you like this video, please smash the like button and leave a comment below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Click the notification bell if you want to receive updates to me publishing out new videos. I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.